constantly there are no voiceless people, there's just people whose voices get ignored.
By having us all be here together, we can do more than what we would do alone.
I have to be fearless for those that can't be.
If my voice matters so much, what would happen if my voice was connected with her voice and 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 her voice?
This is definitely one of those each one teach one's kind of situations where I am learning from this project and realizing that there's a number of things that I can do in my work to help elevate other people's voices.
In terms of the young women that are growing up today, they need to see Latinas and other women of color speaking passionately on the issues that matter to them. So part of what I am doing is making sure that I'm presenting a role model for our next generation as well.
There's so many positive narratives to Black women that most people don't ever get to hear and don't see in the media. It gives me an opportunity to shape a more positive and realistic view of Black women in this country.
We've got a MacArthur genius, we've got a former deputy mayor, we've got folks who have run for public office, we've got people who have been standing on national steps and hooraying amazing laws being passed. Yeah, it's been awesome.
It's been incredible to be in this room and to see how all of the issues of equality and access and social justice bridge the different niches that each one of us spend our days working in.
We actually have an obligation to think about how our voice can join with the voice of others and be expressive across enormous diversity and still push a very large shared point. Very large shared point by which we could change everything.
My whole reason for doing the work is because I remember what it was like to be a 17-year-old Latina here in New York City and trying to navigate what does it mean to be growing into myself, and I want to be able to always center young people.
And I may not get it totally right, but I've got to at least try.
I think that the issues of low-wage workers are not something that the average people hear very much about every day. Sort of the struggles of low-wage workers, the courage of low-wage workers, the many different changes that need to be made to sort of give them a fair shake in the world.
As a transgender person, I know very well that while our community had an incredible increase in visibility with folks like Caitlyn Jenner and Laverne Cox and Janet Mock, that the reality for the majority of transgender people, particularly transgender people of color, is that people are struggling to survive on a daily basis. 22 transgender women have been murdered this year alone. And so I feel like it's critical for me to use my platform and my voice to really raise up those issues and to really continue to push for justice for the trans community.
It's particularly personal for me because my wife is African American and we have 2 kids together who are biracial. I want to believe that every LGBT person, because we've understood oppression, wants to be anti-racist and wants to achieve a culture that no longer judges people based on the color of their skin.
I've had the opportunity to be on television a few times, on Al Sharpton's show, on Melissa Harris Perry's show. I probably take a slightly different perspective on this. As an epidemiologist, I look at what this may mean for Black women.
It's been a bit of a media storm. I've been on The Root, as well as NBC Black, Ebony, progressive magazines like The Nation and In These Times. Black women are such an essential part of the labor movement, but they are a part of the labor movement that is under-recognized.
We started this project about 2 years ago after Trayvon Martin was murdered. We thought it was really important for our communities to come together and rewrite this story. So I think we're actually facing a real moral crisis, quite frankly. My real concern is about what can we do to ensure safety at a more fundamental level? Why not invest in more educators and social workers and mental health professionals? So moving the conversation beyond just police brutality and killings, we wanted to have a more comprehensive conversation about racial justice and about Black lives, period.
The president at the Congressional Black Caucus gave a speech that was focused on Black women and girls. 2 weeks ago, we had given him the draft report.
When you listened to it, did you hear your work?
I did.
There's no denying that Black women and girls still face real and persistent challenges. The unemployment rate is over 8% for Black women.
It is a win that isn't a win that I wasn't sure we were going to have a year ago.
If you look at what's in the news today, issues of income inequality, of gender equality, LGBT issues, they're uniquely qualified to speak about and to work on these issues that are mattering right now in our country.
I think we keep doing this, we'll definitely be tipping the needle.
We're working with some of the most brilliant minds in the nation. And so one of the endeavors of what we're all doing together is to invest in that brain power, much of which is absent from the public conversation. What could we do and what would be the return to society if we could invest in all those missing voices and missing ideas?
Major moments of social movements have happened. I've seen it again and again with these fellows around really important issues. Their positive message just keeps winning.
It turns out that the things women actually care about and the things women need in order to advance are the things that make life better for everyone.
Even in moments when I feel like maybe I'm not the right person to be sitting at the table, maybe I'm not the right person to be telling the story, because I do have those moments, to say, well, you're the person at the table right now and you're the person with the mic, so what are you going to do with it?
It's just amazing to be a part of one's own liberation, to be alive, to actually say, look what we did that you didn't think was possible. And once you hit a mark like that, you know, it's sort of like, bring it on. We're going to handle that next.